Breaking news. A massive economic shift is unfolding across the United States, and financial analysts say it could lead to the largest stimulus initiative ever seen in American history. For millions of households already struggling with rising prices, shrinking savings, and uncertain job markets, this development could reshape the financial landscape in ways few expected. Experts close to the situation are calling it a potential economic reset, driven by new federal strategies aimed at stabilizing households and boosting consumer confidence. While the exact structure is still under discussion, early reports indicate that this upcoming stimulus could reach more Americans, target more pressing needs, and deliver more direct financial relief than any previous package. Sources in Washington reveal that the government has been quietly preparing the framework for months, working behind the scenes with teams of economists, data analysts, and policy advisors to map out the most effective path forward. This preparation has been far more detailed than previous stimulus efforts, involving layered economic studies and advanced modeling tools that examine how different groups across the country are being impacted. Officials have reportedly reviewed thousands of pages of inflation reports, regional cost of living analyses, and updated labor market trends. These documents highlight how wage growth has failed to keep pace with rising expenses, leaving millions of Americans unable to maintain the same standard of living they had just a few years ago. By analyzing this data, lawmakers aim to pinpoint the households most at risk of financial decline. A major component of the government's review comes from nationwide household surveys, which track real experiences rather than just economic statistics. Families have shared stories of choosing between groceries and medicine, skipping utility payments, and delaying necessary car repairs because their budgets have no room left. These lived experiences provide crucial insight into how severe the financial pressure has become on ordinary Americans. This preparation suggests that lawmakers want to ensure support reaches the groups most severely impacted by cost of living pressures, rather than applying a one-size-fits-all solution. Internal reports indicate that several targeted categories, such as low-income workers, seniors on fixed incomes, single parents, and households living paycheck to paycheck, are being prioritized in early drafts. What makes this situation especially urgent is the sharp rise in essential expenses that families cannot avoid. Housing costs, both rent and mortgage payments, have skyrocketed nationwide. Even in small towns and rural areas, rental prices have increased to levels unseen before, forcing many families into cramped living conditions or unstable month-to-month arrangements. Grocery prices have similarly remained stubbornly high, with staples like milk, eggs, chicken, and produce costing significantly more than they did just a few years ago. Many households report buying fewer fresh foods, reducing meal sizes, or switching to cheaper alternatives simply to stretch their budgets. Food banks across the country say they are serving record numbers of visitors, including families who previously never sought assistance. Utility bills have also risen dramatically, especially during extreme weather seasons. Many Americans are struggling to keep up with electricity, gas, and heating costs, leading to increased overdue balances and a growing risk of service shutoffs. These rising expenses have pushed millions closer to financial desperation. Transportation costs are another major concern. Whether through rising fuel prices, increased vehicle maintenance costs, or higher public transit fares, Americans are paying more just to get to work, take their children to school, or access essential services. For those with long commutes, the burden has become overwhelming. The new stimulus initiative appears designed to counter exactly this kind of economic strain by providing direct financial support where it's needed most. Early discussions suggest that lawmakers are considering options such as multi-phase payments, expanded tax credits, or dedicated relief funds for essential expenses like rent and utilities. These targeted solutions could provide lasting stability rather than temporary relief. One of the major reasons this initiative is being treated as a potential historic moment is the unprecedented scale being proposed. Economists familiar with early drafts say the dollar amount could surpass anything previously distributed, even the massive multi-trillion-dollar packages rolled out during the pandemic. If approved at its fullest size, this stimulus could become the single largest direct support program in American history, reshaping the financial reality of millions. Officials close to the discussions explain that the government is examining multiple economic indicators at once: consumer spending habits, wage growth patterns, credit usage, and household debt levels. These combined data points are painting a clear picture. Americans are stretched thinner than ever before, and inflation-adjusted incomes are not keeping up with real-world expenses. For policymakers, this has intensified the urgency to deliver substantial relief rather than another temporary patch. Teams inside the Treasury Department are reportedly evaluating different models of distribution, including digital delivery systems that could significantly reduce waiting times. One idea being explored is a secure automated payment pipeline that ties directly into IRS and Social Security databases, allowing the government to verify eligibility instantly and issue payments without lengthy manual reviews. This could help millions receive funds far more quickly than in previous stimulus rounds. In addition to direct payments, early discussions also include structural support programs aimed at protecting long-term financial stability. This means the stimulus may not simply be a one-time deposit, but a broader set of resources such as enhanced tax credits, energy support programs, and temporary freezes on certain federal charges that help households manage their biggest expenses. This layered approach could create relief that lasts longer and reaches deeper into daily financial challenges. Economists warn that the high interest rate environment created by the Federal Reserve's anti-inflation strategy has put enormous pressure on ordinary Americans. Mortgage rates have jumped, credit card interest has soared, and small businesses are finding it harder to borrow money. The new stimulus may serve as a counterbalance by injecting liquidity directly into households, helping consumers stay afloat despite elevated borrowing costs. At the same time, policymakers recognize that rolling out a stimulus of this magnitude requires careful planning to avoid the issues seen in prior programs. During earlier relief efforts, millions faced delays due to outdated IRS information, incorrect bank accounts, or inconsistencies in tax filings. To avoid such problems, federal agencies are developing more advanced verification systems designed to minimize errors, reduce fraud risk, and ensure that legitimate recipients receive their funds without unnecessary hurdles. Another major focus is fraud prevention. With a package of this size, the government is preparing to implement more modern identity verification processes, possibly incorporating two-factor authentication, secure portals, and encrypted digital payment systems. This would mark a significant upgrade from previous stimulus efforts and could help protect both taxpayers and government funds from misuse. Public pressure has also played a major role in accelerating these discussions. Across the country, families are openly sharing stories of financial strain, rising rent, medical bills, grocery costs, and childcare expenses that keep climbing. Social media has become a powerful tool for amplifying these struggles, pushing lawmakers to take swift action. This growing wave of voices demanding relief has helped move the stimulus conversation from an idea to a near necessity. If implemented, the upcoming stimulus could create ripple effects throughout the economy. Increased consumer spending could help revive small businesses that have seen customer foot traffic decline. Local economies, particularly in rural and low-income communities, could see renewed activity, boosting jobs and stabilizing local markets. Analysts say this kind of wide-reaching impact is one of the reasons policymakers want the package to be larger and more comprehensive than anything seen before. There is also significant attention on how this stimulus might support homeowners and renters. Rising mortgage rates and steep rental increases have pushed millions into precarious living situations. Early proposals suggest potential assistance programs to prevent evictions, support struggling homeowners, and relieve some of the financial burden caused by housing market instability. Parents could see major support as well. The previously offered child benefit programs, considered one of the most effective anti-poverty tools in recent years, may return in an expanded form. If approved, this could provide families with children a substantial monthly financial cushion, helping cover food, school supplies, and basic living costs. For individuals managing medical expenses, the stimulus could include temporary subsidies or debt relief measures that lower out-of-pocket costs. Medical debt remains one of the largest financial burdens in the country, and policymakers are reportedly reviewing ways to ease this pressure through targeted support. Eligibility for these benefits may depend on updated tax filings, recent income changes, and accurate household information. This is why advisors are urging Americans to review their government accounts, update their details, and ensure their records reflect their current situation. Doing so could prevent delays and guarantee timely access to all available benefits. Financial experts emphasize that beyond immediate relief, the broader goal is to help rebuild economic confidence. By strengthening household stability, encouraging spending, and supporting local businesses, the stimulus could create a foundation for a more resilient economy moving forward. This is one reason why many economists believe the initiative could have long-lasting positive effects. Despite ongoing political debates, there is more bipartisan cooperation than usual, largely because lawmakers recognize the severity of the current financial environment. Both parties have been receiving constant pressure from constituents describing overwhelming financial strain created by inflation, housing costs, medical bills, and stagnant wages. This shared urgency has pushed politicians to temporarily set aside ideological differences and focus on crafting a solution that benefits the country as a whole. Many lawmakers who previously disagreed on stimulus strategies now acknowledge that the traditional economic tools are no longer enough. High interest rates, slowing job growth, rising household debt. As Washington prepares for historic announcements, federal agencies are already developing the logistical framework needed to roll out the stimulus once it receives approval. The IRS, Treasury Department, and Social Security Administration are coordinating to ensure that payment systems are upgraded, databases are synchronized, and verification tools are ready to handle millions of applications simultaneously. This preparation aims to prevent the delays and confusion seen in previous relief programs. The coming weeks will be crucial because this is the stage where early drafts are refined into final proposals. Budget scoring, economic impact projections, and negotiations with key lawmakers will determine the size of the stimulus, the timeline of payments, and the eligibility rules. Once these details are settled, the public can expect official statements, press conferences, and published guidelines that outline exactly who qualifies and how funds will be distributed. Meanwhile, millions of Americans are anxiously watching for updates. Families struggling to pay rent, seniors living on fixed incomes, and workers facing unpredictable job hours are all hoping that the upcoming announcement will bring immediate and meaningful relief. Social media searches for stimulus updates have surged, and online forums are filled with discussions from people sharing their financial stories and asking whether they will be eligible for the new package. Financial analysts believe the anticipation is justified. If approved in its strongest form, the stimulus could provide direct payments, expanded tax credits, rental assistance, medical support, and possibly phased deposits that extend over multiple months. Such measures would offer a reliable financial cushion for households facing ongoing economic uncertainty. For many, it could be the difference between staying afloat and falling deeper into instability. By sharing this vital information widely, you help create a community where accurate knowledge spreads faster than rumors. This ensures that people understand their options, prepare their documents, and avoid misinformation that often circulates during major federal announcements. Communities that stay informed experience smoother access to benefits and fewer delays, especially during periods of high demand. Financial security becomes more accessible when people know how to navigate government systems, update their accounts, and verify their eligibility. Many Americans miss out on support simply because they are unaware of new programs or do not understand how to apply. By staying engaged and helping others stay informed, you play a part in ensuring that no eligible individual is left behind. Millions of Americans may soon have access to relief that could reshape their financial future. Whether it arrives as a direct payment, a tax credit boost, or a multi-phase support package, the upcoming stimulus represents a rare opportunity to stabilize household budgets and restore hope. For countless families, it could be the lifeline they have been waiting for as the nation prepares for one of the most significant economic interventions in modern history. Don't wait until the last moment. Stay informed by checking your government accounts, ensuring your documents are accurate, and watching for official updates. Being prepared ensures you receive every dollar you qualify for when the time arrives. Thank you for watching this breaking update. If you found this information helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more essential reports on national financial developments and major economic changes. Stay alert, stay informed, and stay empowered.